When to protest. So when is it okay to go out there with a sign and protest? Is it safe to protest? Like I mentioned in my other videos, corporation, organizations is what run the show. They're the ones that, if you want to say, run the world, right? Mother Earth is the creator, right? The earth is what give everybody life. But on that earth, you have people that have businesses that are trying to rule the world, right? These organizations have been around for years before our moms and dads and grandmothers were around. Been around for a long time. So we're in a position now where things are gonna be kind of hard to make changes unless the corporations change, you know. And like I mentioned in my other videos, it all depends on where you put in your money, where you put in your energy. What are you promoting? Which organization, which corporations are you promoting on a daily basis? That's what's gonna change things, right? But as I said, these corporations has been around for years, man, long time, long time. It's been, passed along through generations and generations, right? So as far as going out there and, you know, trying to stop Trump or whatever president you're trying to protest against, and there are riots breaking out, that's just feeding into the negativity. That's just giving them energy, like I mentioned in my other video, right? If you want to protest, and the best way to protest against something, like an example is, say if you have a corporation, right, that could be in your neighborhood, or it could be in an area that you live in, that you have a water source that's running, right? Like you get water like from the lake or wherever you're getting water from. But they're trying to build factories around the area where you get your water from, like build pipes around it. And in those pipes could have like, I don't know, like chemicals, oils or whatever, right? But there could be leaks that get into your water source. No, that would be the best time to go and protest that one. And when I mean protest, I don't mean, you start like acting up and break out into riots. No, you gotta do it in a smart way. You try to reach out to the corporations who are going to build those pipes and build factories around your water source. You want to reach out to those corporations, right? It's not, making signs and going out there and, carrying on and getting into fights and burning things down and all these stuff. All that does is play into what they want you to do so that they could instill more rules and regulations so that they could have more control over you. So basically, when they have that control, there are certain things that, they're not going to say anything to you. They're not going to mention it to you. Certain things you have to sign on and agree on. Just go ahead and do whatever they want to do because those rules are set, right? If you don't protest against certain corporations and organizations, they're just going to do whatever they want to do, basically. As I said, the corporation organization is what run the show, right? Presidents, work for those people, work for the corporations, right? So the corporations will reach out to the president and let him know that we're going to build pipes in these certain areas, and even though they might be drinking water there for people, certain lakes that people drink the water from, they're going to build the pipes around there. It doesn't really matter, but they're going to tell the president that this is what he needs to go out there and do. So he's going to be the one who has to go out there, talk to the people and explain, what he's going to do. And as I said, sometimes they won't do that. They'll just go ahead and do it anyway without telling anybody. That's why I said it all depends on where you're putting your money, who you're promoting, which corporations you're promoting. If you're promoting a corporation that's more environmental friendly, right, who care about the planet, care about the earth, then obviously they ain't gonna build pipes, under some lake or around people drinking water, because that's not being environmental friendly, right? Because pipes can leak, get into your water source, and that's poisoning your water, right? No, that is something that you protest about. But as I said, going out there and causing a riot is not the way to do it, because when you do that, you're playing into the game where they say, okay, we got these guys now, they're acting up, let's just put some of them in concentration camp, arrest some of them, and let's just set some more rules, right? So they can have control over you. You want to be smart about it. You want to reach out to those corporations who are actually running the show, who are actually the boss. Get to the boss of that corporation. Presidents are just leaders. They're just faces, puppets, right? They're just out there for front. You want to get to the bosses in those corporations and gather a couple people and, get some things written up and just take it to them and say, hey, let's try to work out something, you guys can build certain pipes that run oil or toxic chemicals through our water source or along our water source that we drink fresh water. You just go in there professionally, try to deal with it the best way you can, right? As I said before, we're in a position right now where whoever is running the world, the corporations, they are not environmental friendly. They do have environmental friendly corporations out there, but they're not mainstream, right? The mainstream corporations is what running the show, and they're not environmental friendly at all. They don't care about the planet, so that's a big problem we're having, right? So when do you protest? As I said, if it has to deal with the environment, and also you're going directly to the boss, to that person who is running the show, right? If it has to deal with your water source, your food, the atmosphere, the air that you breathe, the building up factories around your area that is polluting the atmosphere, then you can make a stand against that. You can protest. But as far as like marching and like just, I don't really believe in going out there and marching like that, because there's other ways of doing it. You get to the source. Everybody's going off for the president, but he's just a face. He's not going to do anything about it. That's the thing, because he's just a front. You know what I'm saying? If you want to get to the source, you got to get to the corporation. So marching around with signs, Black Lives Matters, not my president, all these foolishness is just a waste of time. You're just playing right into the game. The police are going to show up. The news stations are going to show up, because for the news it's great, because there's negative things happening and the news only show negative things. That's it. They ain't going to show nothing positive. So you're marching around with signs and that says Black Lives Matters and all these foolishness, just playing right into the game, and you're just wasting your time. I'm telling you that right now. Every life matters. You guys are just playing right into the trap, right? Separating us from each other. Black life, white, Chinese, all these different races, right? Which they're the ones that actually taught you that. If you didn't know about black or white or yellow, you wouldn't be out there marching with a sign that says Black Lives Matters, because you wouldn't know nothing about that. Just like when a baby is born, he doesn't know if it's black or white until they brainwash you and tell you that you're this and you're that. Then as you get older, you start believing in it. Then you start separating yourself from other people, because you might be a certain race, certain nationality, which all of us are all the same, basically, right? So all this race war thing is just a next thing that is a distraction also, basically, because you know that whenever anything goes down in a black community, in a white community, or a white cop shoots a black person, they know that black people are gonna get wild up, right, and start marching and have signs or whatever, which is perfect for them, because it's a distraction, so that they can continue doing what they need to do with their agenda that they're pushing. So you guys are just falling for it, I'm telling you. Corporation run the show, organization them run the show, right? Put your energy, put your money into the corporation them that care about the planet, that care about the earth, right? You have to promote those corporations, right? As far as protesting, as I mentioned before, if you're going to protest, protest smartly, professionally, where you try to get to the boss of that corporation, deal with the boss, right? And rioting and all this other foolishness, get away from that. You basically don't want to pay attention to any of that stuff. Turn off your TV, about Black Lives Matter, just go on with your day, don't worry about that. Whenever it's dealing with the environment and the polluting the water, the atmosphere, then you try to go towards the organization. Then you try to go to the boss, get some people together, and deal with it in a professional way. But I mean, other than that, everything else is just a distraction, and you guys are just playing along in it. You guys are just eating it up, man. Whenever you see it on TV, mainstream on the news, it's no good. Turn off your TV, man. Just do yourself that favor. Trust me, I'll tell you. Right? Just go along with your day and take care of your family, man. And if you have to deal with any water pollution or air pollution, you try to deal with it in a professional way where you go towards the organizations who are building those power plants or building those pipes in that area. Is it possible for these corporations to shut down, like go to business, and the environmental friendly organizations become mainstream? Is that possible? Uh, Anything is possible, but right now we're in a crucial stage right now. Basically the earth itself, right? The environment, we're in a bad position right now, and it's only gonna get worse. Sorry to say, because corporations, them businesses, them been around for so long that they have the power, and what the power is. Obviously, they're using money as power, right? So anybody who has the most money obviously is gonna most likely rule the world, right? That is what they're trying to say, right? And the next important thing, the most important thing that they have is the people energy. They got you guys, right? You're the guys who make everything possible. So without you guys, corporations then would cease to exist. So they have you guys energy, right? They have you guys living in fear, which comes a lot from TV, the news, different TV shows, right? Commercials, everything. TV is basically brainwashing everybody, basically. And you guys are just falling for it. So, yeah, that is what it is, man. To see change, man, doing a change, you're going to really see if it comes from Mother Earth, naturally. A natural change, which I've mentioned in my other videos. Change is happening now as I speak. It's happening right now. As far as the corporation organizations, they're building things that you guys don't know about. Putting up cameras here and there, running pipes here and there, building more roads, cutting down more trees, polluting the atmosphere, destroying the environment, basically. So a lot of these things you guys don't know about. You guys probably won't see because you guys are just distracted by foolishness, by Black Lives Matters, and also rioting over our president, right? So as I said, change is happening now, and it's gonna keep building up to that 2020. So that's just what it is.